Today we are on our way to Galveston, and we're actually sailing down there.
It's like the first time ever, right?
Yeah, usually it's a motor down.
Or motor most of the way and sail a little.
The wind's changing direction, and until it changes all the way out of the south, we'll be able to get a good sail in and get down there. This is also going to be the first time that we stay in a marina other than our home marina. So we've got kind of a little bit of stress with that. It's a nice concrete line one. If you watch the episode from last week, you'll see it's a nice tight little marina right there.
It's a boutique marina.
Yeah,
that's what I'm calling boutique.
Yeah. And we're the largest boat they can accept, so that tells you how small it is. Good news is the channel is going to be closed between 12 and 4 while they do some work around redfish. So we should see less wake out here from the big boats. And
we got additional crew member with us today.
Finn's coming with us. What do you think, Finn?
I'm ready to go to the bar.
Finn has recently found bar life there in Kemah, and he likes it.
Oh yeah.
Because he gets lots of attention.
This is Patricia. And I'm Dave. During the summer of 2020, we traveled to French Polynesia for a sailing vacation. We had such a great time that we decided to buy a sailboat when we returned. Our new Jeanneau Sun Odyssey 440 arrived in April of 2021. Watch as we outfit and upgrade Cavu, learn to sail first on the Texas coast, but eventually the world.
What's the plan for today, Dave?
Well, you got to get out of the channel. It's pretty shallow. The north wind blew all the water out of the bay. And we're going to go down to Galveston dock at a marina for the first time other than our marina. And hanging around in Galveston all this weekend.
And then what are we doing Monday?
Monday we're sailing the Elissa.
And then what about Tuesday?
Tuesday we're dodging storms coming back.
Okay, so how shallow is it right now? 4'9". I think around here it's usually like 6-7 feet, or is it 8? It's definitely not 4'9". Now this is the wind speed I like to see, because even with that much wind, Cavu still gets a nice, 5 knots. What do you think about that, Finn? Finn, you like 5 knots? He concurs. And we are actually sailing. We might actually be able to sail down to Galveston for the first time ever. See, there's a race up there. And then and we didn't get the invite. I don't understand why we didn't get our race invite. Why didn't we get invited to race this weekend?
Because they knew we'd win.
Exactly. It appears I spoke too soon about sailing all the way down to Galveston, because now the wind is right in front of us. We are going into no sail zone, so we got the motor back on. Thanks to those guys over there working on the ship channel. The ship channel is empty of barge traffic. And here comes the ship traffic. The channel has opened back up, and all the ships that were anchored down here are holding at Galveston are heading up. Lots of traffic out this way. Especially that one's a little concerning. And there's ferries.
By the time we got down to Galveston, the Houston ship channel had already opened back up. Fortunately, we were on the correct side of the channel just to turn into Galveston Harbor. We only had to dodge a couple ferries going into the ferry terminal.
And to add to the drama, cruise ship in the channel.
Once we got around the outbound cruise ship, we were just about ready to turn into the marina.
Yeah, Billy J about the phone. I'm topping it around right here, but I'm gonna try and keep it out your way. Hold it up a little bit. Who am I talking to?
The harbor is a real busy place. I'm talking to Patricia on the headset while monitoring the radio frequency, looking at the AIS. We've got tugboats moving around, there's large container ships. We just passed one cruise ship, and the cruise ship just on the other side of our marina has smoke coming out of the stack. The concentration levels are really high. Like I said before, this is the first time that we have docked in a marina other than our home base. This is also going to be the first time Patricia and I have docked the boat by ourselves. At our home marina, we have docking assistants, and we always have dock neighbors that are eager to help. This marina provides no assistance. Adding to the stress of docking in an unfamiliar place and the first time solo docking, we also have an audience. The crew of the Elissa is watching, as well as about a dozen people that are out on the pier, and at least 100 people that are sitting at the restaurant directly behind us. When I briefed Patricia on the docking, I told her our number one goal was not to end up on a boat fail video. Overall, the docking was successful. Patricia struggled just a little bit trying to get the cleat. If you've got some suggestions on how she can improve her line throwing ability, just comment below.
Well, anchoring is definitely easier than docking, especially when you get to a marina and the dock is that high and concrete. Yeah. And this is the funny part. We could fit like another boat behind us, but Dave refuses to go back anymore. Once I got that spring line on, it was like, yeah, that's good enough. Then we had to quickly move all the fenders up.
It's tough to drive.
Dave, what do you think about this docking situation?
That's gonna be a tough step when you're drunk.
Hey, I'm not getting that drunk. So, yeah. I was thinking about whiling it out down here in Galveston, but I don't think that's going to happen. Not with this huge step onto the boat. And also, there was a guy breaking into boats the other night. So, I'm going to be on alert.
So here's a nice view of the Elissa and what Patricia calls a boutique marina. I call it just tight. After securing the boat, we were able to check in. We had a nice meal, a little wine, and then walked over to the pier to enjoy the sunset behind the Elissa.
That's breakfast.
Thank you, sweetie.
That afternoon, we decided to go spend some time on the Strand. We found this nice confectionery, and Patricia got to go in and see him making some saltwater taffy. The Galveston Strand in the late 1880s was dubbed the Wall Street of the South. It was a street of opulent Victorian buildings. At that time, Galveston was one of the richest cities in the world per capita. By the end of the century, the Galveston Strand was not only the financial center of Galveston and Texas, but much of the South as well. Today it's filled with shops and trendy restaurants.
I'm at a Stuttgart bar. Anyways, pretty cool rooftop situation they got here. Dog friendly. Finn is loving it. There's Royal Caribbean. The cruise ship terminal. Oil rigs. So that's the Galveston Wharf. Port of Galveston. And there's Fisherman's Wharf. Tall Ship Elissa. And if you look right over here, you see that mast? That is Cavu.
Alright, so we're back on the boat.
We received some disappointing news.
Yeah. The Elissa has canceled on us. They have a broken linkage.
Yeah.
And so we'll be sailing back tomorrow. Good news is it's a downwind sail with about 18 knots of wind.
Yeah,
so.
much better weather window than Tuesday would have been, but at the same time, we've been looking forward to this sail for what, 2-3 months?
Yeah, easy. I mean, there were plans that were made.
Why?
Had to get off work, had to arrange schedules. Got down here, we actually extended our stay down here by a day to beat the weather. Today the weather was horrible if we had to come down today.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad in the marina though.
Yeah, so it was nice. We had a nice time out on the Strand. But we are this close to the Elissa. I mean, literally. That's it right there. And we won't be going out on her tomorrow. So we're trying to reschedule for later on in the month. If not, we'll try again next year when they have this program. But for now, that's where we're at. So it's going to be a wind down here. We already had beers on the rooftop.
Yeah.
And I think we got
Stuttgarten.
Yeah, we got a
good place. I highly recommend it.
Got a dry aged steak dinner coming with baked potato and grilled corn.
Yeah.
So we're still having a good time.
Making the best of it.
We'll make it better of it.
The next morning we sailed back to Kima, and like I said, it was probably the best weather window that we could have. However, it was less than ideal. We had 18-19 knots of steady wind gusting to 24-25. It's a nice downwind sail. With just the jib out reefed one and the tide working with us, we were getting 6 to 7 knots across the ground. The conditions in the bay were less than ideal. The wind had really kicked up the waves, and coupled with the fact that the ship lanes are open and we're having to deal with the wake off these large ships, it made it sporty enough that we decided to put our vests on.
Alright, we're back on the dock. It was a little intense today, but we made it safely. What do you think, Dave?
Yeah, we're learning.
Yeah.
Nice 20 knots, 24 knot gusts.
But the waves.
It's the waves and the ship traffic.
The waves were pretty intense today.
Yeah. But it was the best day to come back because later on it's not going to be good. So we're going to try to reschedule the Elissa sail, and if it's tight, we'll probably just end up driving down for it because it's a 30-minute drive versus a 4-hour sail.
Yeah. And also we learned reef. before it's too late. Because we had one reef in and just the jib, and we were still flying coming back.
7 knots.
Yeah, 7 knots.